A year ago today, I handed in my resignation from my job in corporate sales and took the biggest leap in my entire life. I left my job to travel full-time with my partner. It's been an entire 365 days, and I had no guarantee of how that year would play out. And now I'm sure you and a lot of people are wondering, was it worth it?
Okay, really, just look at this. Hello? Yeah, I think I'm good with the corporate life for now.
So here's the thing. People always want to romanticize leaving their jobs to travel. And yeah, it felt really good to hand in my resignation, but I was also kind of torn. Things had changed in my company that I didn't really care for, and it made it easier for me to make an exit. Now, is it easy to leave a really nice salary and making good money just to travel with your partner? I don't know. I did have the daily stress of always checking my phone, of always wanting to check my email, be sure I'm going to meet with customers, keeping on top of everything. This job on a scale of 1 to 10 mentally was like a 9.5. It was pretty tough, but I did enjoy a lot of aspects of it. So when I quit my job, actually one of the biggest difficulties that I had was just going from kind of like a point person that a lot of people really needed to communicate with on a daily basis to feeling like I'm no one. Especially because I'm away from family, I'm away from friends, and I am just in the middle of the ocean with my partner. We were living on cruise ships for most of that year. So it was incredibly isolating, and I had a lot of friends at work, and it was hard to leave that daily communication that I had with them. So for me, it was pretty difficult, and I don't want to sugarcoat it and be like, I just had a great time. I actually really struggled with it. I struggled with leaving my job. I struggled with leaving my home and my community, and it was actually really difficult. I remember I made some videos about the dark side of living on cruise ships, and people were like, you're really privileged to be saying this. And yeah, I realized that it is, privileged to be traveling and to not be working. But at the same time, we all have a different experience, and some things that I experienced could be more difficult than I would have if I had stayed at my job and lived out my normal life. Now, within that process of going through the difficulty of living on cruise ships and things like that, I did unearth a crazy amount of personal development and self-discovery, and it was painful, if I'm being honest. It was quite difficult. One day you have this very distinct role. Maybe it's your job, maybe it's like a persona that you have throughout the day when you're communicating with different people. But I had that persona, and then all of a sudden it was gone. And I had to really think about, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? And what do I want to do with all my creative talents and all the school that I went through and all these experiences that I've had throughout my careers? And it was actually a really good opportunity for me to do some introspection, which it felt like it was a pressurized can of introspection, if I'm being completely honest. It was like a crazy experience for me, just like an experiment on like a psychological experiment, to be honest, is what it felt like. So yeah, I went through that for a few months actually, and it probably took I want to say 4 to 6 months before I could start to relax, before I started to feel like I'm not expected to go back to work. I kept having these reflexes, like reaching for my phone, and I need to check my email. And I was like, well, what do you need your email for? The only people that are emailing you is Amazon spam. So unlearning a lot of habits was really interesting. And it took me a long time to be able to just chill. I found that it was quite difficult to be present in the moment. And that, I think, is kind of difficult in general for a lot of people. So for me, one of the biggest lessons that I learned was trying to be present and enjoy my day to day. And to be honest, I am still working on that. So it really kind of took me from having a lot of structure in my day-to-day from a job to having all this free time, which is great. It's great, but you know, part of that was a little bit difficult for me, and I'm still trying to figure out who I want to be and what I want to do with my free time, and that's kind of what I'm doing here on my channel. I found that I'm really interested in creating a community within YouTube and sharing some of my personal experiences. I really want to bring people along with me on the ride, especially, you know, some of these places that I'm going, things I'm doing, a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do it, and I feel really excited to bring you guys different experiences, so I hope you enjoy that. That's kind of my mission here. But, you know, it's all about mindset, and I'm really realizing that my mindset is tough. It's tough. It's like when you don't have a job, you don't have to clock in, you're not like distracted, you don't have a ton of tasks that you have to do at a specific time. What is difficult is self-governance and discovery and figuring out how to contribute to your life in a meaningful way. So that's what I'm working on. But as I'm talking to you right now, I'm in Spain. I just had tapas in a beautiful open air street and having a really nice experience here. And since I love my job, I don't know how many countries I've been to be honest. Some of the highlights, I've been to the Caribbean. I went to Argentina, Chile, South America. I went to Asia. Now I'm in Europe for the summer. So was it worth it? Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think a lot of people are kind of scared to make a leap. And I'm scared myself too. I mean, I'm in a transition period in my life where I'm trying to figure out what the heck I want to do. And it's scary to make that jump. But I think that it's better to try than to never know. And I'm really proud of myself for trying. And for me personally, throughout my life, I've been somebody who's been really opportunistic with different things, like different paths that I've taken. Even my major in college, you know, I'm a chemist and I kind of enjoyed it, but it was all like an opportunistic thing. And I just kind of fell into chemistry and I don't know. I don't really care either way about it, but it's just interesting how I've just been really opportunistic. I don't know if any of you guys have read The Alchemist. It's one of my favorite books, and it's kind of just about like reading the different signs in life and making sure that you're on the right path and not just kind of getting lost in the minutia of the day-to-day and keeping true to yourself. So I am working on that, and I definitely think, yeah, I'm glad I made this decision and I would do it again. So if you're interested in hearing more about me, my travel adventures, my vlogs, I would appreciate you subscribing and joining the community that I'm really working hard to build. And I really appreciate you listening to me, sharing my feelings and sharing a bit of my journey. If you've ever made a big life decision, how did you decide to do it? What did you decide to do? I'm excited to hear about these different things. Let's have a conversation. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.